All right, looks like we're live just directly, like I was All right, looks like we're live. I don't know if we're live. Feels like we're live. Soby, can you hear me, buddy?
Yeah, I can hear you, Josh. Yep.
Oh, goodness, we are. You would not, but I mean, you would, of course, but the audience, you, dear audience, would not believe the pains that we've gone to make this conversation happen. So I'm very happy to talk to you today, my friend. Despite, computers.
Yeah.
Could you reintroduce yourself to our wonderful audience?
Sure. My name is Soby Chacko. I work in the Spring Engineering team. I've been with the Spring Engineering team for the last 10 plus years now. But even before then, I was involved with the Spring in other capacities. These days, I mostly focus on two projects, namely Spring Kafka and Spring AI. So those are my two areas of focus these days. If you want anything more in that introduction, Josh, I think we can probably talk about it slowly. I guess over the course of this hour, we can touch on.
Well, yeah, 30 minutes. Yeah, we're
Yeah, 30.
unfortunately because of my tech issues. I'm an imbecile.
Mhm.
Okay, so I've used your code. Obviously, I'm sure millions of people have in the Kafka world. So, I remember talking to you. The last thing I remember asking you about Kafka. By the way, did you also work on Pulsar support, or am I mistaken?
I actually started the project along with Chris Bono, and then
Yeah.
I was involved with the first GA for the project. After that, Chris is the one who's taking care of it right now. But we were sort of both doing it together in the first year or so of the project. Yeah.
Right. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay, so I remember Pulsar, but I mean, I think most people will have used your code because I've used Spring with Kafka, and there's I think I also worked with you on not on the code, but you helped me get started with Spring Cloud Stream for
Mhm.
Apache. Sorry, for Kafka streams, right?
Kafka
Like,
Streams and Kafka. Yeah, both Kafka and
yeah.
Kafka Streams. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Mhm.
those two projects I mean, the Spring Cloud Stream for Kafka streams, I think, is one of the best secrets that we
Mhm.
have. I know a lot of people use it, but
Mhm.
a lot more people should be using it.
Yeah. So basically, Spring Cloud Stream is basically built on the binder architecture. So it's an agnostic framework in which you can bring your
Right.
own, messaging system. So out of the box, we provide support for RabbitMQ, Apache Kafka, and Kafka Streams. So those are the three. Actually, Pulse are also four different variants of binder implementations, and Kafka Streams is a special type of technology that we provide binding support for, whereas
Yeah.
the other binders are based on pure Spring integration, based message channels in which. But in the case of Kafka Streams, it's mostly based on the actual types provided by the Kafka Streams itself. So that's kind of a different model will be used there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in any case, I'm not involved with the binders as much as would like to at this point, because of these other two commitments I
All
have.
right.
But yeah, but if there are any kind of issues that needs my attention, definitely I'm there. But the most part, binders are in good shape from what we can gather. Yeah. Mhm.
Well, so that project, Spring. So okay. If you want to do messaging, if you want to treat Kafka as a thing to which you can send messages and receive messages, and to do
Mhm.
so in as sort of generic and abstract a way as possible, then Spring Cloud Stream, I think, is a really lovely fit. It has some concepts in Spring Cloud Stream that I think, if we're honest, we borrowed from Kafka, and sort of retroactively made work for other brokers, like the idea of consumer groups. But
Yeah.
but basically, Spring Cloud Stream is as high level as you can get. And then
Mhm.
below that, as you hinted, there's a support in Spring integration via the inbound and outbound adapters. And then below that, we have the Spring for Apache Kafka project. Um, and so I quite like all this. All this is very natural, especially if you're using Kafka Listener or JMS Listener or Rabbit Listener, those annotations and the Kafka template and Rabbit template and all that. But
Mhm.
for me, the thing that is truly different, the thing that I like, if you have a choice between using Spark or Flink or something like that, and you want something that just plugs right into a Spring application idiomatically while still giving you the same distribution of scale,
Mhm.
that Spring Cloud Stream for Kafka Streams is just without equal. Just such an amazing project. Um,
Yeah. So
what?
the
Why did
the
you? I mean, how? Yeah.
no, go ahead. I'll let you finish.
Well, I just wondered. I mean, it's brilliant. Why did you build it? Why? What was the motivation?
Yeah. So Kafka provides. I mean, if you look at Kafka, Kafka has two different Java-based libraries. One is the regular Kafka client, and then there is Kafka
Yeah.
Streams library. So I think Kafka Streams came out of the need for the very reasons that you just mentioned. The other solutions like Spark streaming and Apache Flink, they require
Yeah.
their own. It's like heavy duty systems. I mean, it
Yeah.
requires its own infrastructure to run and things like that. So the model is different. I mean, those are great software products and technologies,
Sure.
but what Kafka Streams brings to the table is the fact that you can just drop it as a regular Java jar, and then you can start coding
Yeah.
against it. So that is a great benefit of using Kafka Streams, in that you get that lightweight sense out of it. You can just add that to your application's class path, and then you can just start writing stream processing applications against it. So it gives you all the traditional goodness, like the stream table duality. You can consider your stream of data, and you can, if you want to materialize that into a table, you can do that, and the stream table duality. And then you can do interactive queries against this materialized views and things like that. So it's because of that, you know you can do that all manually if you want. You can
Yeah.
get the data from consume the data from Kafka, and then you can let it go through a manual process. But it's a lot of boilerplate. What Kafka
Yeah. It
Streams
is.
it gives you higher level operators to operate on your stream data. So
And it,
we,
and it makes you.
Mhm.
It lets you treat things because it's you. I mean, with Kafka, obviously there's a distributed log, so your
Mhm.
data is always durable. But
Right.
it's almost like a storage engine in the case of Kafka Streams, isn't it? You can query it, you can actually interact with it, and
Mhm.
uh, and you
So
you have this sudden sense that everything is durable.
yeah, so Kafka Streams uses another technology called RocksDB for its key value, data to materialize the
Right.
data, and that is what by default you actually query against when you use Kafka Streams query. So the programming model is that you receive data in the same way that you receive from a Kafka topic or partition, and then you basically get the data, and then you can add like stateful operators. You can basically do your joins, or you can do those SQL operations on top of it, and then you can basically uh, let's say that you want to do a windowed operation. You want to find out what happened in the last 5 minutes. In the
Right.
normal scenario without Kafka Streams or some other similar libraries, you have to manually handcraft that logic in your application, whereas Kafka Streams makes it easy. And with our Spring Cloud Stream support on top of it, it's just we make it as easy as writing a regular Java function or Java
Right.
consumer. Yeah.
Well, not to mention, you also make it easy to get references to the K tables and the K streams without having
Mhm.
to do all this sort of. You just inject it basically. It's just
Right.
available to you as
But Josh,
parameter.
did you know that Apache Kafka 4.0 introduced the notion of queues? Now you can use Kafka as a queue if you want. So that is one of the
Wait,
you know newer things that you work.
it has queues?
Yeah. So there is a KIP, Kafka improvement proposal. They have this KIP, in which they is like the community-driven things that they use. So KIP 932, in which they introduced shared consumers. Basically, if you want to use Kafka as a
Wait,
queue now, you can actually do that. In 4.0 version of Kafka, they gave it as an early access. 4.1 was a preview, or the other way around. I forget. And
yeah,
4.2, the upcoming 4.2 is where they make it as a first class GA version of it. So our current Spring Kafka 4.0 now supports it, but the one that's coming out in May 4.1 will have full support for the queue based consumption model. So it's basically a different consumption model. So in the traditional consumer group scenario, so let's say that you have 8 partitions in a topic. Now, if you have 16 consumers processing the data, half of your
yeah,
consumer ecosystem is basically waiting there idle, right? So now in the new model, in the queue model, what you can do is that you can consume from the same partition via multiple consumers. The downside is that you obviously lose the notion of ordering. So there are many different use cases
right.
out there. You don't really care about message ordering. So if that is the use case that you want to build against, then you can use the queue model. And we have some good support in the later versions of Spring Kafka for that feature, actually. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting to me. The in RabbitMQ we have distributed logs now, right? You can use RabbitMQ like a distributed log table
Mm-hmm.
uh, with RabbitMQ streams, and then now Kafka has grown the ability to do queuing like RabbitMQ can do. I
Right.
think we're all going to converge at a place where everything is the same.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
interesting.
sure, they probably
Interesting.
realize there's a lot of use case for that kind of, workloads. And I mean, so
Wait, say again.
it's a pretty interesting feature that they added. I mean, probably so that there is enough demand for such use case out there. And then,
Yeah,
I think it's a very worthy feature that they considered and then added to the Kafka ecosystem.
I agree. Yeah,
Yeah. Hmm.
Kafka's growing all the time. It's got that amazing Gravium native image as well, so it can start up in no time at all.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so Kafka, obviously, this you don't have to. It's 2026. We don't have to justify Kafka. Just if you want to do Kafka with Spring, you really should. And there's no better way to do it than with Spring Cloud Stream for Kafka and Spring Cloud Stream for Kafka streams. Um,
Hmm.
but nowadays you're working on the Spring AI stuff, right? Like,
Yeah. Hmm.
what's that? What's your focus there?
Okay. So basically, so there's some history to that whole thing. So basically, so Gary was the project lead for Spring Kafka up until 2023, until his retirement. So basically, um, after that point, I kind of took over the project as its technical lead, along with Artem. We both are kind of co-leads
Yeah,
for the Spring Kafka project. And then yeah, I believe it was in 2023. Yeah. So then what happened was that Spring AI project was also kind of, bootstrapping around that same time. Mark and Christian were doing the initial, this is before pre-1.0 time of Spring AI. So
right.
obviously they were looking for people to come and work on Spring AI in the sense that, obviously AI was the big thing back then. ChatGPT just came out in 2022. We were bootstrapping Spring AI.
Of course.
So I uh, I saw that it's I mean I like the idea and the concepts around it. I mean we all kind of study in school all these things as theories, right? Machine learning and all these different AI concepts, and now we finally got the
Right.
chance to work on it on a daily basis, and I thought that was a huge thing. And then Mark was looking for someone to help with the project, so I joined the team on a 50-50 basis. I split my time between these two projects, but depending on how things go, any given day, I might be fully working on Spring AI. Some other days, Spring Kafka, and vice versa. So that is initially. Josh, are you
Nice.
still there? Are you still there?
I'm there. I just
Okay.
turned off my video
Okay.
because I'm trying to get better data and I'm having trouble hearing you.
Yeah. So when I started with the project, my initial focus was around the vector stores and RAG and all those areas. So there was a lot of cleanups and what needed to be done in that area. So this is all like pre-1.0 GA time. So as you know, we have tons of issues, tons of PRs coming like daily into that project. So one of the main goals is to basically triage the issues and review the review the various pull requests and things like that. But then I also ended up working on some features like Anthropic's prompt caching and citations, and working on some model specific chat completion API support in Spring AI. Right now, at the very moment, I'm working on migrating the Anthropic's cloud model support that we have in Spring AI to the Java SDK based implementation. Right now, we provide a Rust client based implementation for our Anthropic Cloud module. So now that Anthropic has a Java SDK, dedicated Java SDK, we are going to migrate the chat completion module to a Java SDK based one, the same way that we provide both OpenAI's and Google Gen AI Java based SDK. So that is my
Oh,
at the
okay.
very that is what I'm working on. Yeah.
That's awesome. I
Mhm.
know that Spring AI 2.0 is in the pike, right? Like it's a, when do we expect it to roughly arrive?
Yeah, so the first two milestones are already out there. So M3 is going to come out. Milestone
Yep.
3 is going to come out sometime beginning of March, and then the GA is planned along with the May release schedule. Upcoming May schedule. So that's when we have the GA comes out, and then we're hoping that RC would be coming out sometime in April. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I can't wait for this. This is going to be very exciting.
Mhm.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
This is the first version based on Spring Boot 4, right? So it's
Yep. Yep.
it's a
Yeah.
little late, but I'm very excited to finally have it join the release train.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah.
that the the native support, the GraalVM native image support, all the new models, and there's also this for people who don't know, Spring AI is so big and it's
Yeah.
growing so quickly, and there's
Mhm.
so much activity, and it's gotten to the point where in order to incubate things that are quickly moving or that have limited broad appeal, or to just do experiments, we have this separate Git organization called Spring AI Community.
Right.
So Spring AI itself is just full of great stuff. I mean, so much good stuff. But now we have this secondary organization with so many other great modules as well, which
Yeah.
is very rare. I mean, you don't see that
Mhm.
in Spring Boot. Everything inside of Spring Boot is in Spring Boot, and then there's the stuff outside of Spring Boot. But Spring AI, it just grows. It's just this huge thing.
Yeah, that's a great
Um,
point, Josh. I mean, I haven't seen a single Spring project since Spring Boot that got this much traction in such a short time. It's like unbelievable
yeah,
the amount
it,
of the amount of
unbelievable,
has. Yeah, yeah, definitely.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
I love to talk to people about that. I mean, last year on May 20th, and by the way, we're almost a year. I can't believe it, since 1.0.
Hmm.
But last year on May 20th, in that same week or right after it, we had content blogs um, from Azure, AWS, Google Cloud about
Hmm.
Spring AI plus their respective offerings, and we had
Yeah,
content, showing how to use their models, and we had content from Elastic, Oracle, MongoDB, and Redis,
the vector
showing how
store.
to use their respective vector stores with Spring AI, all in the same like 2-week period, right
Yeah,
after the GA,
I
in
remember that.
support of the GA.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
These these companies don't agree on anything, and they all like Spring AI, which is an amazing
Yeah.
result.
Yeah.
What are
It's
some of the big features coming in 2.0 that you're excited about?
Well, 2.0 obviously is going to be boot 4 based, and then we are doing the JSpecified. The nullability changes will be baselined along with the other Spring ecosystem projects, and then we have the Jackson 3 support is going to be there, and all these SDK based models will be fully mature into a time. I mean, OpenAI's and Google Gen AI, Gemini already out there, but then will be much more polished, and Anthropic's SDK will be there, and there are some things here and there. So the 2.0 is going to be coming out, and then but then in 3.0 we have some bigger themes coming out uh, after 2.0. So 2.0 is kind of a short kind of
Yeah.
cycle, but then major features like in which we're gonna drop the current streaming model with something like virtual threads and things like that. It's that all those discussions, Loom based SSC support, all those things are coming out post 2.0. But
Very
then
exciting.
2.0 is mostly kind of baselining with the general Spring ecosystem of other projects like the JSpecified nullability, Jackson 3, SDK based model, chat
Very
completion
exciting.
support. Yep.
Right. Wow. Well, I can't wait. I mean, this release has just been, it's all these new features. I've been watching. For people who don't know, there's these. I mean, Spring AI is a really great framework, but well, like with all good frameworks, there are opinions that are implied in that framework, and those opinions only make sense if you understand the rationale behind them. And so Christian Soloff, co-lead of the project, has done just a phenomenal job. He's been writing blogs aplenty, week after week, it seems like, showing agent orchestration patterns and token reuse patterns and just all this really amazing stuff. So I encourage people to go to spring.io/blog and look for blogs by Christian Solov, Tzolov. Just amazing to see all the stuff that's happening in the Spring AI project to support this brave new
Yeah,
world that
yeah.
Christian is
Christian
making the case for.
did that Spring AI agent utils project. So he was blogging about
Yeah, so good.
agentic support and things like that.
Right.
Yeah. Speaking of
And I
that
noticed you
agent,
have skill support in the.
yeah. So speaking of that, I mean, yeah, skill support is a skill. He introduced skills as a specific tool as part of that effort. So that's like a generic skill support. So we also have Anthropic's native skills support baked into the actual chat completions module. So there is a blog out there in
That's
which
amazing.
we go through the how do you do native skills, like you want to produce like a document like an Excel or Microsoft Word doc or PowerPoint. You
Right.
can do it on their server, like a sandboxed environment where you can execute code to actually generate those files. So they kind of introduced it as native Anthropic skills, and you can also do like custom skills. I mean, all these things are blogged out there. So if anybody wants to find out more information about it, you can go go through that route or go to the reference docs or find out more information about all these things.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, the world is amazing right now. We have you know, I mean, when you think about what's possible with Spring just in general, and now you have the possibilities of AI, and it's so well integrated. You get security, you get observability, you get scalability with virtual threads and GraalVM and the incredible benefits of the JVM. There's just, I think it's a no-brainer to build AI agentic systems and services on top of Spring and Spring AI these days.
Yeah, and MCP is also another thing
Oh
that
yeah.
is going there like crazy.
Oh, so good.
So
So
yeah.
good. One of my favorite things is the I've been using in my demos the new MCP security stuff that our friend Daniel and
Mhm.
uh, and the rest have been working on.
Right.
Just, I mean, phenomenal, right? Like the idea that I can build these interesting MCP services, secure them, deploy them. Most of the work is enabled by the MCP support in Spring AI itself, but now there's this external module for security, and
Right.
for people who've been asking, like, how do I secure MCP? Well, you can do that with headers, but if you want to do OAuth, you definitely want to check out the MCP security spec.
Yeah.
Sorry, module. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, Daniel did all those work. That's amazing.
My friend, as always, I've been so happy to chat with you. It's just been this one wonderful thing to talk to somebody who's working on all these cool things that I just adore. And obviously, I can't wait to see how people use Kafka and AI together to build even more interesting systems for scale.
Yeah, that's.
I have I have I have some final questions for you. Three
Okay.
very important ones. Are you online? Do you want to be found? And if so, where can people find you?
Yeah, just my X handle is Soby Chacko, my full name, no space, nothing like that, just one word. Same thing on my LinkedIn, Soby Chacko. So those are the two places where I, hang out mostly.
Awesome.
Yep. Yeah.
I'll be sure to link to it. And you're on Spring AI and Spring. If there's an issue, there's a very good chance somebody might post an issue and then get a response from you, which is, I think, really cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, my friend, as always, for taking the time, and thanks people for joining and tuning in. Soby,
Josh,
thanks, my friend. See you next time.
thank you for this opportunity, Josh. It was a great time chatting with you. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Cheers.